Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, people. Motivational Monday. We're back again. We're here. We're here like we always are every Monday to help you get your week started in a way that only you know how to get your week started. But that guy over there to the other side of me, you know him, talent, he goes by that singular name.
Yes,
One of the
sir.
dopest comedians in the game. 30 years celebration going on for the year. And if you haven't come to at least one of the celebrations, shame on you. So get out
Yeah, back up
and
in
do
this
one of
be
these
like, whoa.
celebrations.
Yes,
Okay?
sir. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. If you just been sleeping under a rock and you missed what year this is, like he said, celebrating 30 years in this thing called comedy is nothing to sneeze at. It's not a joke. You wake up one day and then damn, it's 30, years. Don't feel like 30, but it is. So that kicked in officially the month of July. So from July 30th every month, we've been doing something to pay homage to the 30 years, some sort of form of celebration. This month, November, being the 20th, this coming Saturday, we're going to be at the Black Spectrum Theater in Queens. Come on out there, Jamaica, Queens. It's a nice little theater. We did this around this time a year ago, 2 years actually, because of the pandemic. So 2 years ago, we did it, and the Black Theater, Black Spectrum Theater had us back to do another show on the 20th. This Saturday, one show only. I got my good friends from Black Ink Crew. I got Walt the Wizard. I got from Martin's sitcom and Class Act and a bunch of other movies. I got Bruh Man from the Fifth Floor. Notice he always do the fifth floor with four fingers. So I got Bruh Man from the Fifth Floor. I got my girl Mugga from the hit TV show Manifest and Def Comedy Jam. She'll be there as well. And Ray DeJean, who's also celebrating 30 years in the game, will be there. So it's a Power Pack show this coming Saturday. And then, of course, December, the last big show is the biggest one that we did. It's the concert at the King's Theater,
Yeah.
December 18th, Saturday night. You got no excuse. We put a 2-in-1 together. We put a comedy concert with a throwback music concert. So you're going to get about 6, 7 comedians, rock, my son included, Hamburger, people who had something to do with my journey. And then we take an intermission. We come back. We got artists after artists after artists. Amir knows the other night we was hanging out at the show. Monifa was there. We're trying to talk her into throwing her on that bill, add her in with
Yes.
Jeff Red, add her in with Horace Brown, Brand Nubian, Nice and Smooth, Roxanne Shante. It's going to be crazy. So we're just getting ready, and that's going to bring out the year in a bubble, in a nutshell. That's the grand finale of the year. Next thing you know, can you believe already 2022?
Too. Yeah, isn't it amazing? Like, you sit around and you think, like I said, I've been back to work, since the beginning of the year, and slowly but surely, they're starting to, people are starting to come back to the office here and there. But this lady the other day, she said something to me. She said, Amir, I didn't realize how weird this whole thing was. She said, till I sat down at my desk and I looked at my calendar that I had on my desk, and it said March 2020. And I said, damn. Wow. And she just came back last week. So, in all fairness, it's 2 years or so, for some, or close to 2 years since people have gotten back into their offices.
Right.
Uh, all close to 2 years since some of us have, might have seen family members and friends, which brings me to what we're talking about today, which is the holiday season for some. It's birthday season for others. November is a big time for me. My mom's birthday's in this month. My lady's birthday's in this month. So this is a big thing. And they back to back, 23rd and 24th. Bang, bang. Then my best friend's is the 26th. He's 50 this year. So there's a lot of celebrations going
Damn.
on. Yeah, a lot of celebrations going on this month
Well,
for
you
me.
got a lot to be thankful for. That's first of all. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Let's
yes.
backtrack a little bit. How was your weekend?
Weekend was absolutely awesome. Let me tell you guys. First off, I just had the absolute pleasure of coming out Saturday night to catch this man with, and this is what really made it great. He had Cool Bubba Ice, he had
Mm-hmm.
Ray DeJean, he had Face Man, he had his son. And when I tell y'all this show was everything, all that in a bag of chips, it was all that in a bag of chips. First off, I haven't seen Cool Bubba Ice and Face Man, and I want to say at least 20 years or more, some craziness like that.
Ain't
And
that
these are two
crazy?
gentlemen who I used to see at the Uptown Comedy Club when they used to do it on Sunday nights on 125th Street. So when I brought that to both of their attention, they was like, "Whoa!" That's a super throwback for us. I said, yeah, I've been around. I didn't see you gentlemen for a little spell. To see Face Man, still be as sharp as he's always been, even though, I could tell he might be dealing with some challenges. That was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And then I'm gonna tell y'all a couple other things. So we had the pleasure of this woman named Denise. I think her before she was married was Denise Dunning. She happens to be one of the singers on the group Sky. Her and her sisters are the singers on the group Sky. Sky, you may remember this group. They have the wonderful songs like "Call Me If You Need Someone to Talk
Talk
to."
to
Yeah,
you.
they got
Call
that.
me
They have
satisfaction. Sorry.
they have a few other songs that you guys are all familiar with. She was in the building, an absolutely beautiful treasure. I think she mentioned she's 69 years old, still doing a
They
thing,
still
still blessing
sexy.
these stages, and her and her sisters are still, getting it in. So we had the pleasure of that. Unbeknownst to us, Queen Monifa, who y'all know from the Heavy D
Miss
and
you.
that
I
era,
miss. Yep.
yeah, that whole era. She happened to be in the building as well and blessed us with her presence. And she was just a joy and a bundle of energy like nothing you've ever seen. But here's where it really got dope. This guy right here to the other side of me did something I have never ever seen in my life. He's closing the show and he is killing. His son comes a little late because he had another prior engagement.
Right.
He segues into his son and allows him to get up and do his thing. His son gets up, murders. Talent comes right back, picks it up where he left off, and just absolutely closed out the show in style. Like I was just like,
Like
this is
I
why.
wasn't even just there.
I said, this is why this guy is one of the best to ever do it. And I said, when you're blessed and fortunate enough to be around people who you see are not only students of their craft, but are absolutely amazing as far as their craft is concerned, you have to not only tip your hat, but hopefully that does something to you and for you. It should in some way inspire you to be better at whatever it is you do. Because to watch it in real time is way more impressive than to hear about it. Y'all are hearing about it,
Yeah.
so for y'all it's going to be. But to watch it in real time, that was like truly, truly an incredible thing that I witnessed. And like I said, this man is just he reads the room. He knows how to segue. All of the things that would make you great at your craft. He has the time. I mean, just everything is incredible. And we also, I can't not leave off my man, also a very good friend of mine. It was a DJ. His name is Barry B, who is a good friend of talent. Is a very good friend of mine. He went to high school with my brother, so I've known Barry since high school days. But an incredible DJ who also plays on what is it, 108 or 105 or
108 Soul.
108 Soul.
Yeah.
If y'all don't have that app, I suggest you go out there and download that app. It's probably in your app store. They have a ton of incredible DJs on there Monday through Friday who play a lot of old school. For those of you who really love old school music or music that you grew up with and you enjoy, they play a lot of that on this app, and the DJs are all incredible. So we had that. We left till you left. So Monifa convinced us to go next door, two doors down to room 112, which room 112 apparently is owned by the same people who own the fish spot, the Lighthouse Fish Spot.
Right.
Those two spots are
Right.
owned by the same people. So we get down there, and this was classic. So we get down there, and the gentlemen who were doing the door for that place are the gentlemen who used to do security for Rucker. So I know them from the Rucker days. They know me from the Rucker days. So we get out there and they were like, look, you got to have your vaccination card, this, that, the third. So now you know this is me. I'm like, all right, well, look, this is going to end the night for me. Y'all have a good time. I'm not mad. I'm, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm going to let y'all live and, whatever. So Monique was pulling up her card off her phone and all that stuff, and other people had theirs. And the security dude was like, really, Amir? That's how you going to play this? He's like, goddamn well, I'm not worried about you and no damn vaccination. I said, well, look, bro, I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Right.
This y'all
Right.
place, it's just your business. I said, that's the one thing about me with all of this. I'm not trying to, force people to do things out of their, wheelhouse. So he said, get your ass in here. We go inside the joint. Everybody's having a good time. We stayed in there probably like an hour and some change, had some food, got a couple of drinks.
I like that little spot though, man.
It is.
I was talking to Jamie. Shout out to Jamie Roberts, who opened up the comedy club upstairs. It's called Comedy in Harlem, and it's on 117th, that new area where they got all that new stuff. The little mall built, the little parking structure, the Applebee's is directly across from the Applebee's. Now, I went in there to scope it out, then, and I was like, bro, this is what you should do. I gave him a quick business plan because everything's new. So I'm like, right now, especially because we're coming up on the cold months, don't try to do too much. Do you a Friday night show, a Saturday, maybe a Sunday, but set it up with downstairs that, you can do this and go down there and do that, or you flip your room to a little after thing. Because if you make it a hangout instead of just a show, it's more attractive on the weekend, to people, and as because now what it is, the destination place, people are getting to know where it's at. Word of mouth gets out. So by the time the spring comes and the warm weather, you can kind of be in automatic mode, but you prep and do it a certain way to get to automatic mode. And he was receptive. We had a great time for the weekend. I was dumb happy to get the call from me like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna come mess with it. I'm like, cool, man. And you pick. It's weird because just to show you how things work out, you end up picking a night that just came together on some last minute things. So the first night was dope too, but it was just it was everybody on the flyer, and then Ray did a guest spot. So it was Jamie hosting, my son Aldo, and Ray DeJean did the guest spot. So now the next night, because I knew Aldo had to go to do a show in Delaware, we were supposed to have two shows. So I hired Bubba for the late show, and I hired Face Man for the early show. And then the Friday night, we decided, looked at the ticket sales online, said, you know what, let's just cram it in one show. It was like, all right, we're just going to cram it in one show, bring everybody together. So I had to call the comics and say, hey, we're going to cram everybody come to one show. So you got the unintended power pack squished one show, but it was like boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
And it's funny how I be so into the moment of what I do, bro. I don't realize what I do till I do it. Afterwards, I have an out-of-body experience and my mind and spirit to go back to it and go, yeah. Yeah. That's just like, I've never done that before in my life. I've never went up, brought somebody up in the middle of my thing, and then come back and finish my thing. And it just worked like so like it was like I did it before. It was like one of those, it felt natural till I was done. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, yo, that was crazy. It's just like when I got the call to do Bismarck funeral. I've never done a funeral. I stay away from them shits. You know what I mean? If I can help it, I go to the least funerals as possible. I can't even talk usually. Like, I'm choked up. And for whatever reason, you get the call and you raise to that level of play and you play. You know what I mean? It reminds me of the movie Sunset Park. These guys were underdogs and wasn't supposed to make it to the chip. Everything going against them, but they rose to the level of play and they got there. They didn't win it, but they got there, and in itself was an accomplishment. So that was Friday and Saturday, right? So the only reason I didn't hang with you guys was I had my boy Rick waiting in the bar up my way to drink, you know what I mean? And I only had a certain amount of time because I was up at 4:30 in the morning heading to Pennsylvania to do a 10 a.m. show for church. For church.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Again, another crazy joint. I'm like, hey, my coffee. I'm like, I'm going to be all right. I'm just to get through this thing, boom, boom, boom. And that joint, Aldo met me, came from Delaware. We met. We went, we did the show, and we end up back this way that afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever, and came back in the house. And I had every intention, shout out to Kenny Williams, I had every intention. Me and Kenny spoke. We were going to meet up for some drinks, watch Sunday Night Football. Shit. Man, I sat on that couch. I took a half of that cookie. Yo, it was so crazy. Like you don't tell you when it happens. The only thing I find funny about these edibles is this. You don't realize it's other things that make you realize to put things in perspective. Because once you out, you out. You feel great. You just space cadet, right? So you don't really know everything until when you get up from that, when you come out of that, the little clues that let you know shit. Like I don't realize I'm going to bed at 8:30. It's only 8:30. I don't realize I wake up and I check my phone for messages and I see missed calls 8:51, 7:58. Like I'm like, I was asleep. Like I missed this shit. And then like text message, everything. I'm like, what the fuck? And you get up and then slowly things start to make sense. You cut the TV on, the TV somewhere it shouldn't be. You know, you don't watch some shit, but you ain't watch it.
Remember it?
It watch you. And for whatever reason, so now I'm wondering, if you never did see, this is like people who do drugs, I guess they used to, they don't give a fuck. But if you like me, like you're not used to doing shit. So now you find yourself investigating the edible. Like you take it and you sitting there and you waiting and you're paying attention to the tinglies. And then you catch yourself doing this shit, eyes up, You know what I mean? And you hearing shit. I keep muting the TV because I'm hearing shit. So it's very interesting to be a newbie and like investigating and seeing all that shit. I find that shit hilarious, bro.
Yo, you know what's so crazy to your same point? Because I'm like that with the alcohol, which is why I gotta, do it in moderation. So Tuesdays or Sundays, it just depends on what night I really go out. So last night I went to Glenroy's up in the Bronx because they had Brucey B on the ones and twos, and they have them there every second Sunday of the month. So I said, I ain't been up there in a while. Let me go check Bruce. Brucey
Right.
on there, killing it, doing his thing. So I walk in and the bartenders, I'm familiar with all the bartenders. So they was like, your usual? So I'm like, yeah. A Tito's with a splash of cranberry. Yo, they must have poured that much Tito's in the first glass. I was, wait a minute, damn it, I just got here. Let's work up to that. Like y'all
Let's
just
work
jumping right
up to
in.
that.
So,
Let's
so,
work up to that.
so I bust down the first one. I'm sitting there at the bar and I'm like, I'm gonna have to give me some food right now because otherwise we're not gonna make this. So you know how when you in spots T and like you said, you got people who care about you, they rocking with you, whatever. Other drinks are showing up and you're not sure where they coming from. All you see is a glass raised. Yo, okay, all right, right, cool, cool. I'm 3 glasses in now and I'm like, shit, because I gotta jump on the train to head back to Brooklyn. So
Yo,
I'm
that is so funny.
Yo, and I do this every time I leave. There's a Burger King and a Popeyes around the corner of the Grand Concourse. Swear to God. So every time I got to roll the dice. Which one I'm gonna fuck with today? I'm gonna do Burger King or I'm gonna do Popeyes. One of these two got to get some money from me because I'm gonna need to eat when I get back home. Man, I get on that train. I'm on the train sweating like a runaway slave. I'm like you. I'm like yo. I'm worried about everything. Yo, why so many bums coming through the goddamn car? What is it? This is bum. This is the bum parade. Like everybody, stop it, y'all. This many of y'all can't have nothing to do with your time and hit me with the same thing. I don't mean to. Yes, you do, man. Stop. Sit down somewhere. Ain't nobody on this goddamn train. Stop bothering everybody. So I get home and I always eat and forget to drink some water so I can rehydrate myself.
Right.
I wake up, I'm just like you. I wake up 2 in the morning. I got 65 missed calls. Or I had a conversation that I have no idea what the hell I was talking about. I mean, I did call you. You did? What did we talk about? Oh, you were saying some crazy stuff. I was drunk. You know when I'm drunk that I don't remember none of that shit. So why call me? That's immediately get off the phone because otherwise I'm just gonna say crazy stuff. So I know exactly what you're saying. That's why I was laughing when you said that because I go through that same thing. I wake up the next day and be like, let
That shit cracks me up. Like little, I feel like Murder She Wrote and shit with little clues, or I feel like an episode of Monk or some stupid shit
me.
like that. I'd be like how the fuck? I just don't know. Anyway, all right, let's kick the show off. Welcome everybody, Motivation Monday. Your boy Amir, your boy Talon here, and what I want to go into as regarding motivation because we're coming up on what we call in this country the holiday season, right?
Yeah.
So it brought to my attention when you say that the holiday season all year round. Now, depending on your lifestyle and what your upbringing and your beliefs, your belief system and everything, some people holidays can be either or for. There's three positions. I know people that feel three different ways. I know people that could give a fuck left or right, right? They just whatever. But you have those people that holidays are either going to do some uplifting and inspiring, or it's going to be a downer for whatever reason. Now we never know what that is because for everybody, life is different. So let's go through the calendar year nationally and ask each other how we feel about these holidays. You know what I mean? And if it's motivating in there, let's point that out because other people may have their own. And feel free in the comments to put yours up. You know, Amir, read the comments as well. But let's start with the first of the year is New Year's. Now,
Yes.
I don't know about you, but most people, I believe, this is a motivating factor for a number of reasons. The biggest one, the elephant in the room of reasons to me is a fresh start. People love to have the notion or idea of getting a do-over or a chance to fix or do better, or you know what I'm saying, just put their ducks in a row. It's like the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, it caught all of us, for lack of a better term, off guard. Some of us sleeping, some of us in the middle of shit, some of us ain't got shit, some of us trying to get shit, whatever the case may be. So after that, fast forward a year and a half later, the smart ones of us are trying to put it together. And now we know what and how to prepare for something that's unpreparable. Now, one thing about the inevitable and the thing that you can't see coming, once it hits you once, you can prepare. It's like anything else. It's like a fight in the street. If I fight a guy one time, I'm gonna fight him better the second time. First time, adrenaline's rushing. I don't know what he got. He don't know what I got. It's all over the place. We're probably both tired 30 seconds in. But if I run to that nigga second time, I'm gonna give him a better run for his money because I've had a chance to recalibrate. So I think New Year's, now I'm one of those people. New Year's, I feel a little refreshed. I feel a little new. You know what I mean? A little new chance to fix some things and get better. I find it very motivating for me and a lot of people around me. And I think that's probably why too, because New Year's has been one of those things for the most part. A lot of people mostly celebrate in crowds and groups.
Yes.
So it's something about rah-rah. It's something about a group, like
The
tailgating, parties, something about a group that make you feel whatever. So I find it motivating.
Yeah, I you know what's so funny? For a long time, I was into New Year's, but I wasn't into it. I had a weird duality with it. I wasn't into it because year after year, I'd always try to get down to Times Square, and till this date, by the way, I've never been down to Times Square in the midst of all that. The closest I got was one year I was buying a library on 42nd Street. You know, the closest I got. I was like, it's too crazy out here. I ain't stressing myself. Just fuck it. It ain't gonna happen. It is what it is. Because in all fairness, you got to get out there at like 3 in the morning the day before
It's a
and
thing.
camp out.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, you got to stay there the whole night. I ain't doing all that. Plus, usually it's super cold on New Year's as well. So, and I'm not a big coffee and tea and all that stuff. So that's enough for me.
Well, hold on. Are you one of those guys that ever get out like early, like a day early, or 4 in the morning, get online for shit? I can't do that.
No. I don't do none
I
of that
can't do that
crazy stuff either. Yeah, I don't do none of that stuff. So now we fast forward to where we are now. It's become one of my favorite holidays because to your point, I love the energy of it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that in theory, it feels as though there's a reset button there. There's a sense of not only starting over, but okay, I could kind of hopefully let all that happened in the year prior go and step into this new one with a renewed energy and a renewed sense of self, working towards some newer things. You hopefully accomplished all the goals that you had in the year prior. Now and I hate, I'm not going to say goal setting and all that stuff, or what's the other one that everybody uses? New Year's what is it? Promises, range, whatever the hell the thing is. Yeah, no, but there's a word that everybody goes for New Year's. You set. It's not called goals, but it's another word for it. But anyway, I look at it like this: it's an opportunity to really just because what I do always at the end of the year anyway. This has always been me.
Resolutions you're talking about.
Resolutions, yes. So in December, I always go back over the year as a whole, and I try to see what things went well and worked well for me. And then thank you, Trina. Resolution. I then I, try to think about what adjustments and what things I need to do going into the new year
Right.
that will make the next year better. So sometimes it means you got to delete some of those old trains of thoughts and habits that you have. Sometimes it may mean some of the things that you have, you just need to upgrade them. You do it with your phones, you do it with your car, you do it, in various other aspects of your life. But sometimes you got to upgrade, your ideologies. You got to upgrade the way you approach life. And hopefully, if you have really become a student of your own life and a student of your craft or whatever it is, then you know what those things are and you implement those going into the new year. So that's what that's become for me. So, like you said, the celebration, the rah rah of it all,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Now, see, in January, it's funny because, the next thing that kind of gives me a umph in a different way. That's the funny thing about things. Things don't have to motivate you the exact same way. Like the way I feel about being around people on New Year's, I kind of get a different sense of how I feel about Martin Luther King birthday. You know what I mean? Like I'm still uplifted. I'm still inspired, but and I'm still like on that positive, motivated thing, but it's different. If that makes any sense. It's
Yep.
like, New Year's, like you said, that's our reset personally and all that. But I think because when the King Day rolls around, you think of your people. You think
Yes.
of your whole race. You think of,
Yes. Yes.
you know what I mean? All of that. And so now you're motivated on a different front, so to speak. And that's Martin Luther King Day.
Yes. Now, you know what's so funny about Martin Luther King Day, to your exact point. Now, for some of us, if y'all remember, especially for a very long time, it wasn't a national holiday for a lot of us for a very,
Mm-hmm.
very long time. It was thought about and celebrated, like you said, within the community. We acknowledged it and we were, happy about it and everything. But a lot of us had to take that off as a personal day and so forth and so on until eventually they made legislation that made it a national holiday. To Talent's point, for me, it has always been that. It is a celebration. I think of it as a celebration of us as a community as a whole. Because for, taking cats like myself, I work in corporate America. And I remember I used to always take it off, and my bosses and them used to always get mad at me. Amir, you're supposed to be setting an example for the staff, taking
Set
the
an
day off.
example.
And I said, I am setting an example. I'm taking the day off. I said, all the other holidays that they have on the calendar, Jewish holidays, you don't ask Jewish people to show up to work. I said, Asian holidays. I said, I'm dead serious. Like, if you think about your work career, all we had was Martin Luther King Day, and they would always seemingly get upset with you for taking that day off. But like I said, when the Jewish holidays roll around, you got kids. September is 645 holidays in September. There's Jewish holidays. You'd be like, wait a minute, like we didn't get to September yet. But I'm just saying. So this is what I want y'all to think. So I told my boss and them, I said, look, I take off this holiday. I said because y'all promoted me to be a supervisor at this stage in my career in this company. Back if those people who were marched, who sat in, who did all the wonderful things that they didn't do that stuff, I couldn't be in the position I'm in. So this is my
Right.
way of paying homage to them because they thought enough of themselves or gave enough of themselves to try to give me a leg up. I said, we got to stop thinking that everything is just what we've contributed. There's some people whose shoulders you're standing on. There's some people who went through some
Yeah,
stuff
man. See
to
what I'm
get you
saying?
there. So that's how I look at Martin Luther King's holiday. So
So
for
we
me,
agree.
I
We
just
agree
think,
on
yeah,
that. That's it's motivating
celebration.
in a
Mhm.
bigger
Bigger, broader
ethnicity sense. Yeah.
scope.
So it's like that. So now, as you skip over to February, now here's where it gets tricky. Super Bowl is a holiday for me, right? Super Bowl is front of the month. You got the Super Bowl. Now I find the Super Bowl motivating for which most people would think is a bad reason because I'm a fucking gambler.
Hey,
So any big event I get to put some money on, I'd be like, word?
you get
Yeah, baby.
okay.
So here's a funny story. I remember back when Super Bowl was in Miami one year, and I want to say I was betting on Denver. I think Denver was playing Atlanta. Didn't Denver
Okay,
play Atlanta?
I
And
think
I
so.
think Denver played Atlanta. Anyway, so I'm a big at the time. I'm a big Elway fan, and I'm a big I love Denver because of Elway. But then I stayed a Denver fan when my man Manning went over there, got a couple, right?
Okay.
So, so I remember being in the lobby of some hotel to get the big screen out. And, it's Florida, it's Miami. So, it's fucking over saturated with ATL. There was Dirty Bird. That's what the Dirty Birds,
Yeah,
baby.
Dirty Bird.
The
Yeah.
Dirty Birds, the Dirty Birds. I'm like, fuck y'all, nigga. Motherfucker. Denver all day, talking shit about the quarterback. So we in the lobby, group of little 4 or 5 dudes, about 3 or 4 of us, 4 of them. We get to talking so much shit so loud. I mean, if you didn't know, that's the thing about black people when they yelling and their passion. If you don't know no better, you think a real fight about to break out. That's how we talking, right? Bet it then. Bet it, motherfucker. Make it light on yourself. We end up betting a quick little 100. So by the middle of the third quarter, it just turned into a blowout. This motherfucker gets up, go to the bathroom. I ain't thinking nothing of it. I go get another round. You think these motherfuckers ain't skate out of this motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yo, we caught up to these motherfuckers in some club the next night. And dude was like, but I had to respect it. I let him skate because he kept it 100. I said, yo, really, my dude? Really? At the bar, right? He was like, oh, what up, fam? I said, no, what up, fam, dude? Come up off, step up board. He was like, oh, okay, yeah. Put the arm around me, the lean in at the bar, said, yeah, man, I ain't really got no fucking money, man. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
I
ass man.
respect that.
Yeah.
I said, thank you. I respect that because you did that. You ain't because you could have easily bucked up and we've been rumbling in here. You man to man, you just said, bro, I was just in there talking shit. Man, I ain't got no money, I said, yeah, but if I lost, you would have wanted me to pay. He's like, yeah, I would have tried it. I was like, you know what? I respect that shit, right? Because I'm from the hood, I totally get it. But the Super Bowl, even though it's not a national holiday, it does capture the world and international audiences and stuff like that. So I take that as a motivating moment or weekend if I have the whole weekend. But if not, definitely that Sunday for the big day. You know what I mean? Because it's like another day you get to gather with people, get some
No question.
wings or food,
Everybody's
drinks, and yeah.
come down. No question. Super Bowl, obviously again, this is the weird, quirky thing about me. So the month of February is the celebration month in my family because Malik's the first, my oldest brother's the fifth, I'm the ninth,
Damn.
and my other older brother's the 29th. So all of us are in February. So we
Damn.
got one leap year cat in the crew. He's Pisces, the rest of us are Aquarians. But
Well, no
you got
disrespect, but your mother got horny around the same time every time.
but now to show you how crazy this is, see, because we got a sister. So my sister's in July. So that's how I knew she wasn't a boy. I was like, Mom's having a girl. This, this one's in July. My family was dying. They was like, I said, I'm just telling you, Ma, all the boys is in February. It's not a boy. It's gonna be a girl. Like I could just tell. Something in my soul is telling me this. And sure enough, my sister, she's the strongest and the toughest of us all. But get back to like you said, the holiday. For me, that month is always a month of celebration for the fact that, like I said, all of our birthdays are in that month. You got the Super Bowl. And then, let's be clear. Fortunately, unfortunately, they give it to us as the one month we're supposed to celebrate our blackness. So it's always an interesting thing to me because it's the shortest month of the year, but it's supposedly, supposed to have the most power packed stuff. So you'd be like, did they plan this on purpose? Somebody sitting around. So I'm with you. The Super Bowl is always is definitely a dope time. But like I said, a birthday's in there and all that stuff. So,
And you know what's funny about February? And it's funny you brought that up because I wasn't even thinking from that angle. But it is technically that nationally Black History Month. And I'll be honest with you, like I don't feel anything different. I am appreciative. I don't want to come off like that. I don't internally feel anything, right, as a Black dude, but I am appreciative when I cut the TV on and all the Black movies and the Black this, that, and the third, and they go out of the way and the documentaries and I do appreciate that. Do I feel anything spiritually really connected to it? Not really, but that makes sense because it's just something somebody put somewhere and said this is what it is. But I do appreciate the programming change up, even the comedy clubs, bro. Like I remember like Caroline's was one of the first ones to do it. I remember seeing them, like all the headliners were Black. Like February, they started this shit 20 years ago. February roll around, you go see your favorite Black headliner, Damon Wayans and Tommy Davidson and blah 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 blah. Like that was I look forward to that. But then you fast forward in the middle of the month, you know, such a good month, Black History. Fuck it up with Valentine's Day.
You ain't never lied, Jack.
You know,
So
you fuck it up. Here you come, and we're paying homage to the brothers and sisters, and here you come with this fucking holiday. the month is brown and black, and here you come throwing this red shit in there, right? And it wouldn't be so, Amir, I'm gonna keep it 100. It would not be so bad of a thing had it not, like everything else in America, got wrapped up into commercialism. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
if it wouldn't have went there, I think, like, you know, for lovers, I think it's a beautiful concept. I just think that concept, like a lot of shit in America, gets hijacked
Yes.
and takes on
Yes.
another life. And now you got brothers out here that love the shit out of their girl or their wife or their fiance or their baby mother or whatever, but they don't have no money, so they ain't shit.
Yo, T, to your point, this is the one holiday I kind of hate. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm not a hater. I just don't like the fact that the commercialism has taken away what the beauty of the day
See how
and the
Frida
energy.
see how Frida said that shit before you finished
Yeah,
listening to me. It's not true. He's a
yeah.
Valentine hater.
I hate it. I hate that it's taken away all of that because I have honestly, openly had conversations with various women and asked them, I said, if your guy
Mm-hmm.
got you flowers and or candy the entire rest of the year, I didn't say just one or two, the entire rest of the year, but couldn't do it on Valentine's Day, would you be upset? 98.9% was like, what? I'd kill him. And I was like, really, guys? This is how I know we have been brainwashed into interesting moments and places. Because really, guys, look, I work in corporate America. Y'all have no idea how funny and sad it is when them flowers start rolling in, and there's a few ladies who sit in the same cubicles or the same things next to each other, and they make that phone call. There's nothing there for me. Nah, it's gonna be a strong no. He don't love you like that. But it's not that. Like Taylor said, it could be maybe he's planning something else different, something better, just whatever. We can't allow one day to be supposedly the end all to be all, quote unquote, to who loves you, cares about you, and or thinks that you're the bomb.com. Really, guys? Get me something on June 12th just because. Like, what happened to that? When you see something that somebody you know or care about, it would be something that they appreciate and or love, then you should get it. You shouldn't have to wait till a specific day, time, and or moment to show them that. It should
Right.
be spontaneous and it should be without warrant because to me, that is when you feel it the most and you cherish it the best. When you're going into situations where it's perceived that a certain thing has to happen in a certain time in a certain way, it loses some of the oomph to me. Other people might feel otherwise, but it loses some of it to me because I've had things happen to me. Like, this is a true story. One year I had a young lady, she sent me a dozen roses to the
Right.
job. And the funny thing was, I went to go pick them up and I thought they was for somebody else. I'm looking at the card, I'm looking for the card, and I was like, Amir, and this and the third. I'm like, what the? I never had anybody send me flowers before. And then there was a dozen roses on top of that. So I was blown away. I was like, wow, this was really, really nice. I called up, I said, hey. She said, Amir, you're always doing nice things for people. I just wanted to let you know. And I was like, wow. I said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. And it was just different because there's stuff that we don't do. How many of you ladies in the chat, whether your guy's a flower lover or not, how many times have you sent him flowers out of the blue? Just because, yo, boo, I love you. I just want you to know I appreciate you, whatever, whatever. See, that's the problem. We just get caught up in this, oh, it's a one way. No, it's the ability to have this back and forth dialogue that brings us together in a way that's powerful and impactful. And I think that that's what's lost on Valentine's Day now. And it's unfortunate.
I'm gonna skip all this president shit because
Okay, yeah,
they done
we don't care.
confused the shit out of us, changing it
Yeah,
over the years anyway. So
yeah.
I really mean that. I think that's it in February. I think the biggest ones are, of course, the Super Bowl is a big deal, Valentine's, and then they had the presidentship. Then you come across the shit like in the
Nice,
month
Sharon.
and what where the fuck is Groundhog's Day again?
that actually that's in February too. I think it's
Let
February 2nd or something like that, or if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like
me tell you
February
something.
2nd.
All that shit do. I don't
Give
hate
us
it.
anxiety.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. All it do is remind me of the movie.
Yeah. And give us anxiety. They hit you with that. It's supposed to be 6 more weeks of winter. You be like, oh.
This reminds me of the goddamn movie. I'll be like, yo, I wonder how Bill Murray's doing. You know what I mean? That's all it fucking do for me. But I will say this again, you mosey on to March. There's a holiday in March, just like Valentine's Day, and sit kind of in the middle. That I feel a little motivation for my Irish side, because for the wrong reason. Again, some people gonna hate me on it because I drink. I gamble and I drink.
You become you become Talon O'Reilly. I'm Talon O'Reilly.
St. Patrick's Day it's two things. So it's the obvious, we get to drink and people act a fool. But I don't know if I'm going to hell for this or not, but I get a kick out of seeing white people crazy. Like,
yo, thank you, T.
I just get a kick out of because a lot of them create this facade like they don't know what that is all year round. But let March 17th roll around. And by the way, that's my cousin's birthday, my cousin Bless. Let March 17th roll around. And motherfucker ain't even got an ounce of Irish blood. They just white. Woo! Woo! I just love to see that shit, fam.
Yes. Yo, it is, the fun thing about it, you're absolutely right. That is one of the most interesting days just from the standpoint of not only watching white people seemingly come out of character and become unraveled. It is hilarious to the point of seeing people who you might have seen in a specific light. Like literally, you work with them, this, that, the third, they pristine, they come to work, they all serious, this, that, the third. 5 drinks in, yo, they some of the funniest people in the absolute world. You be crying like, what in the hell?
I love to see it though, bro. Because if let them tell it, they don't know what the fuck that is. Like they've never. Well, I never. All that shit. When that day roll around, I just sit back and go, interesting. And I can't wait to be in the middle of a bunch of them and just let them talk and run their fucking mouth. Because one thing, unbeknownst to most people, a drunk white person will give you all the information you need.
Yes, sir.
An intoxicated Caucasian will give you more than enough information. You want to overthrow the company? Buy a couple of beers. It's just that simple to get the information you need. Now, March and April, because this shit just happened, normally I would say, save Easter for April, but
some kind of way.
Last year, some weird way, it was in March.
Yeah.
So Easter that's a feel-good holiday, not for the reasons, because there's a few, once you get to April, you're dealing with a few religious things. You got your Ash Wednesday, what is it, Palm Sunday, Good Friday, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not really into all of that. So I'm not so caught up in the resurrection. Do I believe in God and Jesus? All that? Absolutely. But that holiday for me brings back great childhood memories.
Yes.
It becomes real platonic for me, real organic in the essence of, I think of all my cousins, me and my cousins and my friends, and getting ready for that was a big deal, bro. We had certain outfits, and of course your moms made you wear whatever for church at first, but then you got to go and change and go to the movies and had a Lee Twill suit on, some British Walkers or some Pumas or Stan Smiths, a Latigra t-shirt with the collar with a name, a skinny little gold necklace nameplate. Somebody could suck that shit off. You're like, that's how skinny it was. But that's what brings back for me. So I love that holiday.
Yeah, Easter again, like you said, it at this stage it's still a childhood thing for me. I also love the fact that for some odd reason we think that that's the only legitimate day we're actually supposed to get dressed to for whatever odd reason. It's the only day. Dudes, yo, I'm saving that outfit for Easter, son.
I'm
Really.
saving it. I'm saving it for Easter.
So
That's
you
funny.
see you see people still, doing that. You be looking like, and then to your point, Easter brings out some of the best well, not costumes, outfits you ever want to see. You got yellows and pastels and all kind of stuff that you'd be like, and you waited just for this day, just so you could just so you could drop that on us. So
Yeah.
it
We
is
like, yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it like I got a few churches around here in Brooklyn, so I can't wait. I'll be in the window like this. This is gonna be good. So I'm
No,
with you on that.
but it's a real thing. So now, when you do go into April, right out the gate, the first day, April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a sense of humor, you should love April Fool's Day. Like, the only people that I know that have bad feelings about April Fool's Day is like the people who got. Like, if you
Yeah.
got real good over the year, people are bitter about that, man. Like, because you know how some people want to play a joke, but some people do take jokes too far.
Yes.
You know, you don't call nobody in first thing in the morning talking about their mother died or something.
Something
Get
crazy.
them
Yeah.
all riled up and get ready to get dressed and go April Fool. Like that's that's debatable. That's a little. Now you messing
Let's
with
touch
some
and go.
yeah. I get that. But if you've never got or your circle ain't that asinine and they know how to play, certain type of jokes and whatever that could easily be brushed off. You got me, whatever. It's a cool holiday. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Again, duality for me. That actually, God bless my father. That was my father's birthday, so it always for me is really that. I don't. I've forgotten all the April Fool's stuff, and I just know that it's my father's birthday. So I'm always excited, on that day because I know that was the day that my father was born. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I always just kind of, soak that all in, and and I am mindful and thankful of that. To be honest with you, I don't know about you, T. I really don't have anybody in my circle like that. I've never played an April Fool joke on anybody, and I've never had,
Oh, really?
anybody play one on me. True story. So, and I can't think of any of my friends who like, yo, son, these niggas called me and got me with A, B, C, and D. But I do know that exists, and like you said, if it's done in a lighthearted way, and it's done, in a way that obviously doesn't, put anybody in harm's way, I think that it's a beautiful and a wonderful thing to get into or to be a part of. You know what I mean?
Like jokesters, they get up for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some people get up for that. Like, oh, I be like, really? I got you. Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
moving right along, we got May comes up, um, and Mother's Day right at the front of May. My
Yeah.
birthday sometimes fall on that shit. So
Yeah.
it's funny how things weigh in your life, the point system of what matters in life, right? Mother's Day falls on my birthday every few years. And I love mothers so much, starting with my own and to mother's period. Motherhood has always had this thing on me, right? I just always really super admired it. So you think I would mind giving up a birthday, like taking attention off of self and that day for them, but I don't. Either
Gotcha.
way, I'm fine. Like
Yeah.
whether Mother's Day fall on the birthday or not, I'm always motivated and awe of motherhood. So like I love to sit back. A lot of time I don't get to because it's a big entertainment day. They need to be entertained. So a lot of times I'm working for mothers, but I love to sit back and just see moms do their thing. So it's a very uplifting holiday for me.
Now, exactly to again what you're saying. The fun thing with me and Mother's Day is, first off, I think that it's a sham only in this regard. Again, it's something that they've commercialized
Mm-hmm.
too crazy to me. But I say that because, in all fairness, and I'm saying this because I'm 52 years old now, and I speak to my mom a lot more on a regular basis than I did when I was younger. And one of
Right.
the beautiful things about speaking to my moms now at this stage of my life is being able to replay the lessons and things that she gave me that I can thank her for. So to me, Mother's Day is just about every day. I know we celebrate or we pick one specific day to, supposedly really take a moment in this, but I really celebrate that every day. Same, with dads. I know we didn't get to Father's Day yet, but I think Mother's Day is every day because the nurturing and the amount of time poured into each and every one of us, especially for the mothers out there, it doesn't stop. The only time that stops is if they leave the planet or you leave the planet. But other than that, that's a full time job, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My mom's, when I speak to her, she always makes me laugh. She'd be like, I didn't want to call and bother you, but you're being a little quiet. I just want to know is everything. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I'm 52 years old. It's not like I'm a baby anymore, but she's a mom. That's what she's.
You're
You're gonna be
always
my
you're
mom.
always gonna be
Exactly. To your parents. You're always
yeah.
gonna be their baby, no matter how old you get. So, for me, I always just drink that in every day. And I'm one of those people who has taken Mother's Day out of that realm. And for me, it really translates into every day and the being celebratory of all the beautiful mothers because that's not it's probably one of the lowest paying jobs
Well,
in
that's a fact
the
though. What you
world.
said, that's a fact though,
You
because
know?
think about it. It's a it's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of like okay. It's funny because this is how hypocritical we are. I guess that's why I feel so null and void with Black History Month because I'm black all year round.
Yeah. You don't get to pick that day. You to do
So,
that all day. Yeah.
it ain't like on the 28th. Like, whew, glad that's over with. Now I get back to who I really am. So anyway, in the month of May, we also have Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day. Now, this is tricky for a lot of people. I notice this every year. Between Memorial Day, Independence Day, and Labor Day, the average Joe can't differentiate the three.
Yeah.
So pay attention to the words. They mean something, people. Independence Day. That's 4th of July. Independence Day. So you know that has to do with this country, the motherland getting its freedom, breaking free. That's Independence Day. You got to know Labor Day is set aside. I think because of where it falls, it fucks people up. But Labor Day is that holiday is paying, homage to everybody because you're part of the mechanism, the working mechanism. So take a day for yourself because you work every day. So today we're going to honor labor in this country, Labor Day. So those two are different that way. Now, Memorial is what?
You're paying homage to the people who we've lost who have done their due diligence as far as
Memorial.
military is concerned and, done what they can to make sure that we have some of the freedoms and some of the interesting things that go on in this world. So we do, and so many of us have, especially elders in our family who were part of the various, military installations. So it's like you said, there's a weird duality to that for me with all of them because
when you think fast, you could easily get it all
get
tangled
it all
up.
mixed up. So that's true.
You know
But
what?
it's
But I got the same feeling for all three. Sorry if I offend anybody out there.
Mhm.
Memorial Day, Independence Day, and Labor Day all mean the same three damn things to me. Cook
A
out,
day off.
cook out, cook out.
There you go. All right. So
All right, so May, we're done with May. We're in June already. So June, right? We did Mother's Day. We gotta honor Father's Day. Now, you're a dad. I'm a
yes,
dad. Do we feel the same or do we feel slightly different? Do we look at it from, because it's interesting, because we're not women and we're not mothers, we look at Mother's Day a certain way. Boom. But see, with dads, it's different because we are dads, but then there's those dads ahead of us that we got to, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
how do you feel about Father's Day? What does it do for you?
Father's Day is another fun one because I really think that unfortunately because there are so many ideologies of what fathers are, dads are, and so forth and so on, and it varies. The problem is they have given certain models, and we tend to try to live up to those models as opposed to living up to who and what we are. So,
Good
for
point.
instance, as we came up in the game, James Evans might have been a role model to some. What's my man from Happy Days? And I'm only using these because these were shows and things that we watched as children. Happy Days. What was the pop's name on Happy Days?
Oh, Howard, wasn't it Howard?
Yeah, yeah. Remember, for a long time, all of us watched Happy Days and little Richie Cunningham and all that stuff. So we had all these different ideologies. Mayberry, whatever
Andy
with the
Griffith show.
Andy Griffin. So you had all these different things, and then eventually we finally got some shows like the Cosby Show and My Wife and Kids, and the list goes on and on. So I think really you have to truly give yourself an idea of where your father is, and probably say to yourself, take from all of these different things, and really that's what your pops is rolled up into. Because so many people, think to themselves that, fatherhood should be one specific thing, and it's not, because usually the men are technically supposed to be the providers, and we're supposed to be the safety. At least that's what they had, projected for so long. But now some of those roles have changed, and as time has gone on, some of the ways that we see some of that has changed as well.
Mhm.
And, I know some women on here may be girl dads. I'm a girl dad. Me and my dad are close, and, this, that, and the third. Or you may not be. But I want everybody to understand this. Fathers, just like mothers, we're vested too. We may not show it the same way that you guys do. We may not be always in the mix like, mothers are. But trust and believe, we sit around and we struggle with things in a different way, because as men, we first of all have to get past the not showing emotions. Then we got to get past the how close do I, get to the baby, and this and that and the third. So there's a whole ton of things that we seemingly go through sometimes in our own heads that force us into these weird boxes that we, build for ourselves. So I hope that women out here understand that Father's Day has just as big an impact on our children as mothers do, because so many of us who may or may not have a close relationship with our dads, what do you hear all the time? Well, I really wasn't close to my father, so that's why I grew up, or I feel the way that I do. So let's start alleviating that by broaching that, that space, and allowing dads to, be whatever factor they're going to be in your child's life is whatever factor they're going to be. It's not up to you to say he has to be in his life or whatever, or in her life in this specific way. He's doing the best he can. He got battles he's fighting every day that some of y'all don't really want to know about, but that's a whole nother story. Let's keep it rolling, because I know we don't got a lot of time.
Hey, I was all in it. You had me all in it. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to skip up because Labor Day brings in ushers in September, and we jump up into October, which at the beginning has, what's that joint? What's the joint? Columbus, ain't it? Columbus Day.
Columbus, yeah.
Means shit to me.
Yeah, we don't care about that one.
Only thing it means to me is day off of work. I get better numbers on that Sunday. If I do a show that Sunday before, I get better numbers because people ain't got work. Ka-ching, that's what it means to me. I call it Ka-ching Day. So anyway, that's null and void. But in that month, one that we are entrapped and engulfed into is at the end of the month, Halloween.
Yes.
So again, this may be, hold on, bro. Halloween, if we had to sit down and rate top 5, Halloween probably is it might be oh man, it run a close, it's either second or third and the highest commercialized holidays we got.
It is, but you know what's so crazy? This is the fun and interesting thing about Halloween. You either love it or really hate it, because if you're vested in it, there is nothing doper than dressing up in a dope Halloween costume. I'm not talking about the cheap shit where you get the fucked up mask and the bad hair and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you spend a little bit of change and really transform yourself into whatever character you deem, you want to be in the moment. And if you get a dope Halloween party, to me, that is some of the best celebration that you could possibly do, because you get a chance to not be yourself in an odd way. I know people are gonna, feel like I'm whatever, but when you really think about it, if you've ever been to a really, really great Halloween celebration and you got a chance to dress up and really, embody the character, you was like, man, listen, I went there and killed them. They wasn't ready for this.
I
You
think
know
I'm
what
gonna always be bitter about
I
Halloween for
mean?
a couple of reasons. The costumes obviously, but it's like little shit pissed me off. Like, you know what I mean? It reminds you of if you was poor, if you grew up poor, it was a constant reminder every year of how poor we were. Like I never knew about being poor until a little shit like Halloween. Like we're fighting to pay the light bill to keep these little regular bulbs on. You know, you ever
Mm-hmm.
walk by a house that got $7 million worth of shit out there, decorations, like Christmas?
Okay.
I'm like, yo, how much extra money they got that they could just plug all this shit up like this? You know
True
what I'm
story.
saying?
True story. You ain't lying. That is 100% the truth, Jack. T, real talk,
I'm
bro.
upset, yo.
Real.
Like I'll be happy, and then my happiness just slowly dies because I'll be like, oh, look at that, ooh, and then I go, ooh, hmm.
Yo, I man, listen, I'm with you on that, brother. I'm with you on that. And then
I
just
just
for
left the
me,
house with a candle lit.
just for me personally, Halloween, I just hate all the horror stuff because I'm not really a horror person. So I hate the fact that every movie is horror movies for like almost 2 days straight. You'd be like Halloween 77, Halloween 3,
See,
Chucky, Chucky
see,
5,
we vice
Chucky
versa because
2.
I love that shit.
See, I'd be like, God damn it, I want a movie. I can't, I don't want to watch this horror shit.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. We go to November. Now, November, we just had Veterans Day. Salute to all my veterans. Thank you for your
Yes,
service.
yes.
I think this year I've had the biggest uplifting interaction with a veteran. Like I told you, last weekend I was hanging out with the dude who caught Saddam Hussein, bro. Like,
Yeah,
talk about thank you for your services don't seem enough. But we must say thank you. You know what I mean? And that we appreciate you guys. And that does bring a feeling. That does bring an emotion. Because it takes a moment to make you stop for a second and put that shit in perspective. And if you
perspective.
cut your TV on, you see some things. The president's doing some things. The whole government that's putting things in perspective. Makes you because we lost a lot of lives. If you add up,
Yes,
tally all these wars and
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 everything.
and
And
traveling and terrorism, and so you have to take a second to go. You know what? A lot of people did die for this country that I'm sitting here benefiting from.
and for me, again, I'm sorry. I bring everything back to black, but that's just who I am.
Right.
For me, it always truly brings up the red tails and all of these things that
Yeah.
we do and don't celebrate per se because those were the people who quote unquote proved to the people of that era and of that time that no, we do this too,
Yeah.
and we here to partake and be a part of you know, trying to set the standard for freedoms and for what. Now, unfortunately, we came back and we didn't get to participate in that. So
Yeah.
that part of it is a little disheartening and leaves you feeling a little off, put off
Yeah.
because, as I said, I got aunts and uncles who were in the earlier world wars and this and that and the third, and some of the stories are hysterical. One of my uncles in particular, God rest his soul, my uncle Clarence, I forget one of the world wars, one or two. My mom tells the story. She said he went over there and they landed on wherever the war was, and they didn't see him again until the war was over. The whole entire time. And he laid low. When he came back, showed them dog tags. All right, I'm back. Deuces.
Hey,
Don't
however,
take it.
however they got to stay
You got to
alive.
survive. Yeah, you know what I mean. And to your point, T, that's what is really interesting about that. We see the games, Call of Duty, we see the war movies, whatever war movies you watch and all that stuff. And again, remember, y'all, that's just television and that's their version of situation. But people who actually have had to live through it and or witness that and be a part of it, I'm sure that probably stays with you in a way that I don't want those memories. I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else. But this is why we do have to, thank you for your service and
Yeah, and it's
salute
it's
you guys.
amazing because the things we know now that we didn't know 40 years ago, like when I look at it now, like my grandfather also, God bless the dead, was World War II veteran, and
Mm,
I remember just being a little kid thinking this nigga crazy, just the way he would snap and whatever. But we now know that's PTSD. We now know that those guys came home, those guys and girls came home, affected, so to
Yes.
speak, and nobody was treating it like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely thank you for your service. In the month of November, election day, unless I think is imperative, and something we need to do, obviously, affects us as citizens. I don't think it's a real I could count on one hand how many times it emotionally affected me or something like that. So that's neither, that's like doing our civilian
Civil
duties
duty.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But then Thanksgiving, another top 5 monetized commercial. Now, mind you, this is my favorite holiday totally not for that reason, for the family camaraderie reason. However, so it touches me in my heart. But the problem is they throw you through the whoop-de-loop swoop because Black Friday is attached to the shit.
Yes.
So they act like it ain't monetized, but nigga, it's monetized.
You
Black
know
Friday.
what's so crazy? Thanksgiving, to your exact point, and hopefully this year, the people who are watching with us and participating with us now, and the people who hopefully will watch this in the future, because of the way the world has been going the last year and a half or whatever. It was a little rough last year, so a lot of people didn't get to celebrate. A lot of people didn't get a chance to see friends and family. So hopefully this year, being around your cousins, being around your mom, being around your dad if they're still alive, being around, like I said, your family will have a have a different energy and a different synergy to it that I'm hoping that you guys will really embrace those moments. We'll put those phones down. We'll really get a chance to look and laugh at each other, break out the Jenga, break out Connect Four.
Break out that
Always,
new game. The new game. Urban something with the hashtag cards.
oh, okay, okay.
That
See,
right there, bro. We did
all of
that
these
last year
different things.
drinking.
Yeah, Pictionary. I mean, really, go back. I wouldn't. I look. I don't. I'm gonna say this. Spades and Monopoly are probably a no. That's gonna start some fights. So just don't do that to yourselves. And just look. This is just a pre-warning because y'all know black folks. There's certain games that we just take a little more serious than others. Scrabble might start a fight or two as well, especially if you got some really egghead cousins who are smart as hell. You don't really want to sit down and do that neither. They get that triple quadruple that quadruple score word,
Oh,
and
you
you
ain't
mess
shit.
up your whole afternoon. Now you mad at them for the whole rest of the afternoon. So,
Egghead cousins.
but
It's funny as hell. No,
but
but
you,
it touches my heart though.
it does. I love Thanksgiving. I always am excited. And here's something else y'all need to know. Even if I don't get together with friends and family, backgammon. That's another one. Yeah, you might have to stay away from that one too, Trina. You're right about that.
Grow up, Trina.
But I think that, hopefully, again, like I said, this year in particular, we all really get a chance to, like I said, just enjoy our families, y'all. This should be a dope one, even for the cousins that you don't like or your significant other's family who can't cook. So what? Go over there, sit quietly, and just nod a lot, and make sure that there's something open when you leave there. Run by White Castle's, Burger King, or something, and just
Yeah,
suck it up. It is what it is.
it's dope as hell. And last but not least, the number one
Commercial,
monetized national
commercial.
holiday that got totally away from Jesus. Like it's it's bad when you see more Santa than Jesus.
Yo. Okay, so here, just to tell y'all how bad this is, to tell his point. This to show y'all. So a friend of mine who I went to high school with yesterday on her Facebook page, she put up a Christmas tree already. It's decorated, whatever. Yo, I was so tempted to put a Grinch gift up on that so bad, just because. I was like, we didn't even get past Thanksgiving yet. I was like, goodness gracious. But I understand for some of us, Christmas is still that, that warm, fuzzy feeling, this, that, the third. Now, I will say this for me with Christmas. There's only two things that I look forward to Christmas always, and that is March of the Wooden Soldiers, believe it or
uh-huh.
not,
Uh-huh.
and to see Miracle on 34th Street, and not
I
the
knew
new
you was
one.
gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say
And not the new one. I like the old one, but I will check the new
that.
one. But I really do like the old one. And those two movies, I actually have to literally watch
The
at some
only
point.
the only movie I think that got that kind of impact is I would apply like Soul Food there, and I would
Mhm.
put Home Alone. Like when it really come to Home Alone, first of all, perfect Christmas movie, like Rooted to the Tutor. Perfect movie, like humorous. It just gets you going. But I'm gonna say this, man. Like Christmas is it's been each tier of your life you feel different. I think.
Yes.
Like as a kid, we feel one way. As an adolescent, we turn another way. As a young adult, another way. And then you get in your 30s, you're another way. And you're a parent. And, like right now we 50, a whole nother, way about it. But I do think that if you can separate what they think it is than what you think it is, I think you can really enjoy it, because I still enjoy it. It's still heartwarming for me. No matter what. Now to your point of the early decorations out there, you gotta understand something. There's two type of Christmas people. We love Christmas people. Christmas people, we're gonna play the shit out of Christmas music for a couple of months. We're gonna do the light thing. Now, to your point, there are two type of people. Is because it's an investment, people want to get their money worth. So they're gonna get at least 2 months, right? So you got the people that start early, and you got us people. I'm on the people that go late. So if I put my decorations up in December, it's probably gonna be up to February. I'm the after guy. Like you got the after people and you got the before people. You ran into the before people. You're like, God damn, Thanksgiving ain't here. And that's the only reason why the logical after people are like that, because they like, I'm not gonna infringe on important holidays. Thanksgiving's dumb important. So I'm gonna wait, let that rock, and then I'm gonna do my Christmas thing, because the only thing after Christmas really important is bringing in the new year, blah blah blah.
Yes.
So I'm one of those people. So that's why it's like that. Just so you know.
Like I said, I want y'all to know I enjoy everybody who enjoys what they enjoy. I'm not one of those people. My cynical mind does fun, stupid stuff like that because that's just my cynical mind. Like I said, I really do want to put a Grinch gif up on her thing.
But that's funny as hell, though.
Everybody is like, "Oh my God, this dope!" Whatever. She did it with one of her girlfriends, and somebody put in the comments, "Does your girlfriend travel? I need help with my tree." I was like, so I was dying. I said, "That is hilarious."
I'm gonna do this though. My Christmas gift for everybody that's tuned into today's Motivation Monday is a big fat double apology from us for going way over. But this conversation, it needed to be had. We're coming on what we call in this country the holiday season, and for a lot of people, this is uplifting. This is a motivation time for a lot of people in this country. That just to sum up why we did what we did. However, we cannot negate the fact that there's still that clump of people out there that this is a downer time. This is a time where, for whatever reason, it could be lost loved ones, it could be job situations, it could be housing and real estate situation. For whatever reason, people are going in reverse and they're being unmotivated. So that's why we want to talk about it, ping it off each other, break these holidays down. Who feels what about what? This ain't shit, that shit. Oh, I love that. I get excited for that. That's motivating. That's inspirational. And because of that, we apologize by going damn near 15 minutes over the time and everything. But it's motivating. I think we had a good time.
It's Motivational Monday. To Talent's point, guys, check on your friends. This is also a time where, to his point, because like you said, people might, feel, less important based off of, whatever their situation is. Those text messages mean more. Those phone calls mean more. So check on friends and family. Just try to, be as uplifting as you can. You have no idea. Something as simple as that. Trust me, you've walked somebody possibly off the ledge in a way that they may or may not be able to express to you somewhere down the line. But the beauty of it is you'll know it because at some point they will express that to you. They'll go, you know what? You don't know that time you called me, such and such. I was having a rough moment, but you really, picked up my spirits. You made me believe in humanity again, and you let me know that people still do care. And that's really, to me, what the holidays as a whole should be about. It's about us caring. It's about us showing each other fellowship and humanity, and more so than anything, it's just about us trying to do what we can to celebrate each other and uplift one another. So send those text messages, make those phone calls, enjoy each other, stay motivated. It's Monday, it's the beginning of the week.
Yes, sir.
Me and this man may sneak in here and do some other things this week. We'll talk about that, just depending on what his schedule looks like. And you can catch us on Friday because we'll be back on Friday.
All right, now. Say
Peace and
less.
blessings, everybody.
Peace, King. Great show.
Peace.
Everybody stay motivated, stay blessed. Keep your faith, man. It's going to happen for you. Trust. Believe in that. Sorry to Project P, too.